Welcome to the AutoCAD lab. Myself Lingeshwaran and I am working as assistant professor in KL University for last 3.5 years, and I have a design experience of 1 year in SG Structural Engineers in Coimbatore. Now I am going to say about what are the things available in the AutoCAD lab. In AutoCAD lab, having the systems of 60. In the 60 systems, we are having the n number of softwares like designing softwares and tooling softwares. And about the student ratio, each student able to do single as 1:1 ratio, while now I am going to explain about how the student is going to perform when they are admitted in our college, how they are going to perform in second years, third years and final years. While the student is coming to second years, they are going to read the subject of building planning and practical approaches in construction. In BA BPC, what they are going to implement means what the things they studied in engineering graphics, like how they drafted the plan, how they drawn the plan and how they drawn the ellipse or parabolic, what are the things like different types of sections, elevations, what are the things they did, they will implement in AutoCAD. That means it is a simple computer aided software. So in the software, the students able to design n number of elevation, sectional views, isometric views, and they can able to draw the entire building plan at the end of the course. While the students come to third year, in third year when the students are coming to the third year, they are attending pre-final year. That means it is a third year, so it will play a main role. What it will play a main role means, in our university they are offering skill course. Before going to say about the skill course, I will say about the core course. In the core course, what they will study in the software. For example, they are studying DRCS, Design of Reinforced Concrete Structure. With DRCS, they will study StatPro. When they are studying StatPro, they will design structural components. For example, they will design slab, column, beam, footing and staircase. These are the experiments they will learn in the DRCS lab. And when you are coming to skilling course, in the skilling course, we are implementing n number of softwares. Like in my course, I designed like having the software of SAFE, then Stat Foundation, then StatPro and ETABS. Why these many softwares we are implement for the students means, when they are going for final years, when they are going for internship, when they are going for design companies, they need to know about what are the things available in the society and what are the things available to do the design for the better society and better civilization and better infrastructure. So students will do the design in StatPro, what they did in DRCS lab, like advanced experiments like retaining wall, counterfoot retaining wall, pile structure, like that they will do. Like here we are implementing for Stat Foundation and SAFE, we are implementing two footing softwares. Why we are implementing two footing software means, for example, if the student is going to do a design of isolated footing or mat foundation, before the students are going to do the design, we will take the students to site or in around the Vijayawada where the site is ongoing, where the things ongoing. They will learn from there, then come and sit in the lab. They will do the design in the Stat Foundation. They will get the answer. For example, they will do one-way check and two-way check, and they will find out the depth of the footing or depth of the slab. The same thing they will implement in the another software like SAFE. They will comparing the result. So in this way, the student will think more, the creativity thinking will create more, then the students will able to design a separate components in very perfect manner. At the same time, we are implementing ETABS 2017. Why students is going for ETABS 2017 means, it is a research point of view. For the research point of view, to do the design of earthquake engineering or wind load calculations or any other thing to do to get better understanding. If the students are going for MTech, if the students are going for MTech program to attending any MTech programming structure interview, they will understand the research point of view. Due to that one, we are keeping ETABS, like we are giving the experiment like P delta analysis, then time history response spectrum, then sway analysis, like that a number of designs we are going to do. At the same time, students will go to the site, in the site what it is ongoing. For example, they will take one footing layout, they will take one column layout, then they will see the sectional elevation, they will check the architectural diagram. With the diagram, the students will come to here. The same thing they will implement in design software like StatPro or ETABS. They will design it, then they will check the result with what the things is ongoing in the site and what the things they are doing in the lab. The same way they will find out. Then when the student is coming for final year. In the final year, the students will able to read about Midas software.
Welcome to Environmental Engineering Lab, Department of Civil Engineering, KLEF. I myself Dr. Nagachaitanya Kavuri. I am a assistant professor in Environmental Engineering Division, and here I am trying to introduce you the Environmental Engineering Lab of Civil Engineering Department. Basically, in Civil Engineering BTech, the Environmental Engineering Lab plays very important role when it comes to the environmental engineering subject, and most importantly, you people will be very much inclined towards testing the water quality and water quality, air quality, and noise pollution and everything. Please come. In this laboratory facility, we will be conducting different experiments like pH, electrical conductivity, turbidity, jar test, hardness test, acidity, alkalinity, fluoride content, iron content, chlorine content. So, we will be generally checking the quality parameters that are involved in drinking water and domestic water purposes, and all students will be made to understand what are the basic importance of these parameters, and they will be doing all type of experiments to determine these quality parameters present in the water. Coming to the equipment that we have double distillation unit here. This will be giving pure distilled water for research purposes, and we also have single distillation unit, and that will be providing the distilled water that is suitable for the regular experimentation. Coming to here we have pH meters, and we have conductivity meters, and we also have turbidity meter, and this is water bath system that is there, and we have jar test apparatus for conducting jar test and checking the alum, suitable optimum concentration of alum, and we have two muffle furnaces. This is the latest one that has been produced, and this can be used for chemical analysis of cement, steel, and any construction material, construction material analysis, and this is already existing muffle furnace that we are using for the BTech experimentations. We also have colony counters, and we also have orbital shakers, and we also have hot air ovens for the experimentation, and we have desiccators for BTech experimentations, and we have COD apparatus, and in environmental laboratory some advanced equipment is also available for like UV visible spectrophotometer for doing research like metal analysis and air pollution analysis, and most of the PG students will be conducting their results, their experimentations, and they will be publishing their results in reputed journals from this laboratory. We will be starting with introducing basic titration experiments, and we will be taking the students to the next level to use advanced equipment in this laboratory.
Welcome to Soil Mechanics and Foundation Year Laboratory. Myself K. Shyam Chamberlain, working as an associate professor in Department of Civil Engineering, KL University. Here, this laboratory basically utilizing for the academic purpose as well as the research point of view and consultancy. Whoever to require to construct any type of the construction activities like highways or otherwise building or otherwise going to construct, to propose irrigation activities, all those things before to go into the construct must and should be required what is the condition of soil sample. Same way, whoever to join our KL University, the BTech level, then second year, whenever coming to second year, those students to enter our laboratory, they are learning the soil sample, some laboratory properties. Then the soil, what is the conditions based on the soil, general properties as well as engineering properties. Here the soil general properties, there is going to the students to involve, student going to the involving, then to conduct those what are the soil sample available to us, then for the soil parameters as well as the properties. Here whatever the soil sample to construct, outside people propose construct any type of the building, those people sent to our laboratory to check for the soil strength. How you can go to the estimate the soil strength depends upon the basic soil parameter. Same way, here the students also to enter our laboratory, they should know each and every whatever we are going to be tested in laboratory, those we are also learning the students at the secondary level. When are coming to the second year, those those are all given to the list of experiment. Based on the list of experiment, they are going to evaluate here to supply the soil samples there to estimate what is the water content of the soil by using Owen dry method. Then how you are going to be identified visually is called the visual identification of soil sample. Then to estimate the soil, what is the specific gravity, then you estimate the specific gravity. Two methods depends upon the size of the particles. One is density bottle, second one is picometer method. Then to estimate the soil sample size, how you can go to estimate the soil sample size depends upon the sieve analysis by using for the IS sieve. Based on that, to know for the measure size of the soil sample. Next you estimate the outside to filling the soil sample, then how much amount of the compact, how you can go to evaluate the compact by using for their field density apparatus. What are those? One is the fifth experiment under coming to estimate unit weight by core cutter operator, to estimate unit weight by using for the sand replacement operator. Both these are all the two operators to use to estimate at site to fill the soil sample, then how much amount of compact for the densities at field. Then same way to estimate the soil plasticity characteristics, how you can go into estimate the soil plasticity characteristics by using for the plasticity characteristic operators, the liquid limit using for the Casagrande operator, same using for the same liquid limit by using for the one more method is cone penetration operator. Then using for the same the soil sample plastic limit, how you can go to analyze the what is the plasticity nature using for the plastic soil sample by using for the plasticity operators. Same as the same soil sample they are having shrinking is called using for the how much amount of the shrinkingness to required under coming to the shrinkage limit of the operator. Then the soil sample to estimate, these are all under coming to the all type of soil sample, but exclusively using for the soil relative density. When are utilizing for the sandy soils, then for the relative density is using for the relative density operator in sandy soils. Then using for the grain size analysis, fine size particles, how you can go to the fine size particle to analyze by using for the hydrometer analysis operator. Then using for the how much amount of the water to permeate the soil sample by using for the to measuring the soil permeability operators by using for the here constant head permeability method. Then second one is variable head permeability. Those are all the depends upon the size of the particle, type of the particle by using for these two methods, the how much amount of the water to allow in soil sample. Then you coming to the determine swelling characteristics of soil sample by using for the swelling operators. Here also under coming to the one more compaction characteristics in laboratories, how you can go to estimate in laboratory equipments the soil sample. Here going to the compact by using for the in this standard Proctor compaction test. The second one is modified Proctor compaction test. Those are all the two operators utilized by using laboratory the soil sample to estimate MDD maximum dry density and the corresponding to estimating of the optimum moisture content of the soil sample. Next we will be using for the strength characteristics of soil sample, how you can go and evaluate supply the soil sample, the soil is this much depends upon the type of soil sample. There you choosing for the type of the operators, strength operators called as the strength operators. The first one is undrained shear strength of the soft clay soil sample to estimate by using for the vane shear operator. Then you go into the clay soil sample, then you estimate unconfined compressive strength of operator by using for this test. Then you coming on to the strength parameters to utilize to required CVL and 5L strength parameter by using for the here direct shear operator. Then to use now utilize those are all the operators utilizing the olden days. Nowadays using for the to estimate strength of soil sample by using for the triaxial. This is one of the advanced equipments to use students to find out the soil sample drain conditions and drain condition by using for the triaxial operator. Here this is one of the operator to estimate using for the soil swelling characteristics. And next this is the operator by using for the swell pressure the soil sample, how much amount of the swelling nature the soil sample using for the swell pressure operator. Then this is the operator by using for the same strength parameter using for the manually use manually. Then for the soil strength parameters. Okay, this is the one of the operator using for the to know the soil mass, how much amount of the denser state, to know for the consolidation, do the consolidation operator, for the soil consolidation testing. This is also one of the operator using for the soil sample to know the compressible characteristics. Here this is the one type of the operator. So here this is one type of the operator by use density sandy soils is called the relative density operator. The sandy soils, you don't know exactly how much amount of the denser state buying for the, this is the operator using for the sand denser state. Then here this is the one of the, these are all the both operator, these both operators using for the soil to measure the permeabilities. Ovens utilizing for the, to know for the soil, water can, how much amount of the water to present soil, how you can know by using for these operators. These are all also utilize ovens. This is the operator using for the extruder, then separating for the sample to the sampler, then using for the separating is called the extruder. Then to making the specimen or required shape or required sizes, this is the one of the operator using for the compacting. This is also automatic compacting operator. Then the soil sample, they will go to the compactness. Here this is the operator, whatever soil sample to bringing outside, here to making pulverized, here to making some small pieces using for the, this is the pulverizing operator. Here these are all the operators utilized. This is the sieve method, sieves using for the soil sample to measuring the size, by using for the Indian IS code of practice, by using for the sieve analysis using all those sieves. This is one of the operators to know for the soil strength. Whatever the soil sample available to ours, soft clays, the soft clays only here to go into the, to bringing here, then you are going to compact using for this operator vein shear, by using the vein shear to know for the strength of the soft clays. This is the vein shear operator. Here these are all the trays. This is the soil.
Myself, I am Achyut Reddy, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering. The objective of the Strength of Materials lab is to demonstrate the basic principles of strength of materials and structural analysis. Coming to the lab experiments, the first lab experiment is the tension test, second lab experiment is the torsion test, third experiment is cantilever beam, fourth experiment is simply supported beam, fifth experiment is hardness testing, sixth experiment is impact testing machine, seventh experiment is the simulation of cantilever beam and simply supported beam. Yeah, this is the lab experiments. Coming to the list of equipment, the hardness testing machine. By this machine, we are going to test the hardness of the various materials. This is the spring testing machine. By this, we are going to test the stiffness of the spring. This is the tension testing machine. By this, we are going to test the tension test of any material. This is the torsion testing machine. By this, we are going to test the twisting strength of the various materials. This is universal testing machine. With this, we are going to test the compression test as well as tensile test. That is why this is called as universal testing machine. This is impact testing machine. By this, we are going to determine the impact test of various materials. This is compression testing machine. By this, we are going to determine the compressive strength of various materials.
Welcome to the Concrete Technology Laboratory. So myself JD Chaitanya Kumar, I am the Concrete Technology Lab in charge. Myself as Assistant Professor, working as Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering, KL University. Okay, the main objective of this Concrete Technology Laboratory is to know the properties of building materials and know the properties of fresh concrete and know the properties of hardened concrete. So we are having the list of equipments and we are having list of experiments. In this lab, we are going to know the properties of concrete like concrete materials like cement, aggregates, coarse aggregates and fine aggregates and water. We are having different equipments to know the properties of a building materials. So first experiment will comes under a cement properties, that is called normal consistency of the cement. Next will be the fineness and fineness of the material, and next will be the initial and final setting time of the concrete, cement by using of Vickard apparatus. Next will be the fineness modulus of coarse aggregate and fine aggregates. Next will be the specific gravity of fine and coarse aggregates. Next, workability of fresh concrete by using of slump cone test and compaction factor test, and will comes under composite strength of the concrete by using of cubes, and split tensile strength by using of cylinders, and next will be the flexural strength by using of prisms. Next will be the flakiness of the aggregates we can calculate by using of this laboratory. This laboratory is mainly very much close to the real life. Okay. So, whatever the materials we are using here, that will be testing by using of these equipments, we will see. Okay, this is a digital compressive testing machine having of 300 tons capacity. This is a digital one. Next will be the, so it is a beam testing machine. By using of this machine, we can go for the flexural test of the beams. Next will be the, this is the VB consistency meter. This is the VB consistency equipment. Next will be the, this is also compressive testing machine, but this is not a digital, it is a mechanical one. This is a cube mold vibrator. These are the two table vibrators. By using of this, we can go for compaction. This is the compaction factor equipment. By knowing by this, we can calculate the workability of concrete. Fresh concrete, we need a mixers. This is a pan mixer. This is one more mixer. This is a drum mixer. Okay, this is a loading frame equipment. This is the capacity of this loading frame is 200 tons. By using of this equipment, we can calculate any type of element, structural element strength we can calculate it. So, by not only beam, column, slab, everything we can calculate it by using of this equipment. So, this is the major equipment in this laboratory. This is a movable crane. The capacity of this crane is 1 ton. By using of this crane, we can lift the structural elements for the testing of a loading frame.
In this lab, we will conduct tests on aggregate and bitumen, which is the binding material used in roads, that is flexible pavements. Coming to the equipment what we use in the laboratory, this is impact test, this is crushing test, this is Los Angeles aberration test. Impact test, when aggregates are subjected to sudden load, when aggregates were subjected to sudden load, how aggregates are able to resist the impact load, that is tested in this test. And coming to this crushing test, gradual load is applied on the aggregate, so that whether aggregate will be able to resist the load on it to certain extent, so that it can be used in different layers of the flexible pavement. Most important is Los Angeles aberration test, which is being done in most of the countries to satisfy the road aggregates suitability in the construction of the pavements. Next important test is California bearing ratio test. This test will decide the thickness of the flexible pavement layers as per MORTH specifications. Based on these different soil bearing ratios, the flexible pavement thicknesses will be decided, and this test is for bituminous mixes to find out optimum binder quantity to be mixed in top layer of the flexible pavement. And coming to this is the quality test, which is done after the pavement is constructed to identify the quantity of bitumen which is used in road construction. And this equipment is a part of Marshall stability test. In order to make the sample, this test is this apparatus is used. It is universal compactor. Yes. Coming to the bituminous test. This is the ductility test to identify the elasticity in the bitumen and to find out the hardness of the bitumen. We will use this penetration test, and the softening point test is used to identify at which temperature that bitumen can sustain, so that to make it suitable for different weather conditions. This test is for finding out the specific gravity test using the buoyancy balance, and this test will decide the suitability of aggregate in road construction, as specific gravity is one of the important property in assessing the quality of the aggregate. And this is how we will judge the material before it is used in road construction.
My name is KJ Brahmachari, Assistant Professor in Department of Civil Engineering, KL University. Surveying is a fundamental course that every civil engineer has to learn. Surveying laboratory provides a hands-on experience with the instruction course of surveying. We are having all basic instruments like chain, prismatic compass, theodolite, dumpy level. In addition to this, we are having all type of modern equipment such as digital theodolite, auto level, GPS based surveying and total station surveying. Now, we will go through what are the experiments we are going to learn in this laboratory. In addition to this, we are having a value added certificate courses in the name of total station surveying with respect to is a part of curriculum. We are having value added certificate courses such as total station surveying as a part of curriculum. These are all basic instruments, ranging rod, tripod and leveling staff. Now, we will move to the equipments. These are all instruments used in the surveying laboratory while doing the experiments. This is metric chain and tape used for the purpose of measuring the linear measurements, and this is prismatic compass, and this is theodolite used for the angular measurements, and come to the dumpy level and auto level used to know the levels of the surfaces. Next, digital theodolite. These are all advanced instruments, digital theodolite and total station laser distance meter. These are having a very good applications where you can able to find all type of linear, angular and other measurements by using the total station. This is highly precision and advanced equipment in our laboratory.
Dear students, welcome to Fluid Mechanics and Hydraulic Machines Laboratory. Myself Sunny Agarwal, Assistant Professor in Civil Engineering Department, KL University. I will be teaching you about these lab experiments on fluid mechanics in 3rd semester, while hydraulics and hydraulic machines in 4th semester. So, here we are having so many equipments to measure discharge as well as flow velocity, which is very much useful in various engineering applications. So, first let us start discussing with this open channel flow experiment. The name itself suggests in open channel flow the liquid surface is exposed to atmospheric pressure and flow is occurring due to acceleration due to gravity. So, here we are going to find in open channel flow Chase's and Manning's constant. After that, we will see this second experimental setup, that is on triangular notches. So, notches and weirs are temporary or permanent structures which are being used to measure discharge. This is the rectangular notch which is used to measure discharge in open channel flow. After that, I would like to introduce about mouthpiece. So, this is a mouthpiece, as we can see here at the outlet we have introduced a tube shaped structure. So, this is also used to measure discharge, but it is not in open channel, in pipe flow. This is experiment on orifice. After that, here we are having experiment on metacentric height. So, this is a floating ship model. Here we are interested to find its metacentric height. After that, next we are having experiment on Reynolds apparatus. Here we are having experiment on Reynolds apparatus. So, here we will see various fluid flow analogy through this equipment. Further, this is very interesting experimental setup on Bernoulli's theorem, where we will see the pressure head, datum head and kinetic head, how it is balanced for different cross sections in a fluid flow. Now, we will see about experiment on reciprocating pump. So, here in this laboratory we are having two types of pumps. One is centrifugal pump, another one is reciprocating pump. Centrifugal pump is again classified here in various types, like centrifugal pump at constant speed, rated speed, multi-stage pump and gear oil pumps. So, here we are having 5 types of pumps. Now, we will see another type of hydraulic machines, that is turbines. So, here we are having 3 types of turbine: Pelton, Kaplan and Francis turbine. Pelton turbine is a impulse turbine, while Kaplan and Francis are reaction turbines. So, this is a typical model of turbines and all are being automated, since all readings we can directly take in system and we can do various analysis and we are also plotting graph. So, this is very modern equipment which we are using for various BTech and MTech project work also. So, this is about Kaplan turbine having various working conditions, components. This is Francis turbine, this is draft tube. Now, this is Pelton wheel turbine, which is very much different from these two turbine. These are reaction turbine, this is impulse turbine. Now, we will see about major losses in pipe. In this experiment, we are finding what are the head losses occurring in a pipe flow due to various pipe roughness. Now, this is experiment on orifice meter and mouthpiece. So, it is just similar to the previous experiment of orifice and mouthpiece, but here all is automated. This is the modern equipment. This is also experiment on Reynolds apparatus. So, here this is also updated one. Here we can also allow dyes to flow through it, which will help us in analyzing various fluid characteristics in motion. This is experiment on Venturi meter and orifice meter. This is Venturi meter, this one is orifice meter. These two are used to measure discharge in a pipe flow. Previously, I have shown discharge measurement in open channel flow by rectangular and triangular notches, but here by using Venturi meter and orifice meter, we are going to measure discharge in pipe flow. Discharge is rate of flow which is occurring. Now, this is our last experiment on minor losses. So, whenever a fluid is flowing in a pipe system, it is also accompanying various types of minor losses, which are majorly we can group like head losses due to sudden expansion, sudden contraction, pipe bend, pipe fitting, so on and so forth. So, this is all about fluid mechanics and hydraulic machines laboratory. Thanking you lot.